Whoa, what's going on, guys? So, it's a rest day, and I've gotten this question quite a bit. Just to go over the basics of nutrition and understanding, why do we need protein, carbs, fats, sodium, etc., what each one is, and I'm not going to go into the crazy details of each one. We can save that for another video. But the overall, how do I eat as an athlete, right? Why do I need certain things as an athlete? Or even as a regular person just trying to get in better shape? So, before we break all that down, the obligatory, if you like what you're watching and you think you're going to learn something cool, like, comment, subscribe. It helps out tremendously. Helps us continue to put good content like this out there for you. So thank you. I'm not going to bug you about it again. Now, eating quality food is the most important thing. A McNugget is not the same thing as a chicken breast. And the chicken breast from the grocery store isn't the same thing as, let's say, an organic one. Because there's a big difference in all of your food when it comes to organic, grass-fed, grass-rooted, standard, and then processed, right? So some common misconceptions you'll see first. One of the biggest ones, I guess one of the most important things you can do, whenever you're buying your beef, any red meat whatsoever, and red meat's very healthy for you. It's, in my opinion, the best superfood on this planet. You want to make sure it's grass-fed. Grass-finished is ideal as well, but grass-fed is key. Remember, you are what you eat, right? You're looking for quality nutrients. That being said, when you eat quality nutrients, you become made of quality nutrients, right? When you're eating an animal, when you're eating a cow, for instance, and you're getting red meat, it's important that that animal had quality nutrients as well. Tilapia, for instance, or honestly, lobster too. Lobster's a really bad protein source. People just have it so expensive because it's incredibly expensive to ship. But lobster used to be like what they fed the prisoners in Maine because it was so cheap, because it was everywhere. But lobster got expensive because it goes bad very, very quickly, because it's a really bad protein source. But it's expensive because it costs a fortune to ship live lobster, since they go bad so quickly. Funny little lobster tip for you right there. So price isn't everything. It's not the quality of the food you're eating. Now, when you eat grass-fed beef, and this is as deep as I'm going to go into it, because I could go on for beef forever. I can go on about eggs forever. But one of the most important things with grass-fed red meat in particular is grass-fed red meat has the most absorbable form of something called a CLA. Now, CLAs are responsible for kind of like amino acid absorption, things like that. They really boost up your muscle recovery. When you take CLA pills, and people think it's a good supplement for it, CLAs, being an amino acid base, are so finite molecularly that you don't actually absorb them when you take a CLA pill, because your stomach acid is so acidic that it actually just denatures and kills that powderized substance before it could even get absorbed into your body. So it's kind of just a wash, right? One more misconception for you is when they say vegetarian-fed chickens, right? They're like, oh, they're vegetarian-fed chickens, that's good, right? Grass-fed beef, that's good, right? It's not. If you look at cattle, right? Cattle, they're herbivores. They only eat grass. Their body is designed to eat grass. Chickens, birds are omnivores. If you give chickens mealworms and grubs, things like that, crickets, they thrive because that's a healthy protein source for them. But when you're giving them vegetables only, chickens, as silly as they are, we don't think of it, but they're omnivores. They would prefer to be carnivores if they only had access to meat. Just like every bird. Look at every bird on this planet. Every bird is eating fish, eating worms, eating something. But why is it different with chickens? It's not. But marketing tricks us into thinking that, oh, they're vegetable fed, that's the good one. Because They're advertising it like it's the good one, like it's this great thing, but realistically it's bad. So the quality of the food you get is extremely important. That's number one of whatever you're eating. Number two is, let's talk about protein, right? Protein is the most important thing for your body in terms of getting in shape, getting healthy. Why do you need protein? Every night when you go to sleep, whether you're working out or not working out, you have hundreds of thousands of cells in your body have died, and hundreds of thousands have been born. Brand new cells. But you also do microscopic damage to your body all day, every day, living like a person. And every night it gets healed. Now, when you're exercising and you're training with weights, obviously you're doing a lot more damage to your body in a good way. You're tearing up muscle fibers, you're using your body, it's working. But it needs the proteins, those amino acids, to heal the body up. Those amino acids are responsible for all the cellular repair in your body. But they need to be a complete amino acid source. So if you look at people who are vegans, vegetarians, and so on and so on, like people like that, anything that isn't animal based is an incomplete amino acid profile. Meaning that it's kind of like taking, let's say you got prescribed amoxicillin, right? And the pill capsule says amoxicillin on it. But the pill capsule's empty, there's nothing in there. And you take that pill capsule for a week and you wonder why you're not getting better. It's like, well, there's no amoxicillin in there. Somebody forgot to fill it up. It's just an empty plastic pill capsule, right? So, plant-based proteins are exactly the same. Where if you eat rice, it'll say there's 4 grams of protein per cup or whatever it is. But for a human, it's actually 0. Because we can't absorb all of the amino acids in that rice, so we can't use it properly. And then people say, well, what about gorillas are the biggest example people always throw at you. Gorillas only eat plants and they're jacked and they have all this muscle. But you need to understand the gut microbiome is extremely different for every animal on this planet. The gut microbiome of a gorilla, and this is true, has a specific acidity to it that converts one of the lagging amino acids, because the 3 main ones are valine, leucine, and isoleucine. Plants are missing isoleucine in particular. Now, gorillas especially have a specific gut microbiome that can actually transfer one of the other 30-something amino acids into isoleucine, so they get a complete amino acid profile from vegetables. Humans don't have that special gut microbiome. It's not that we're lacking it or we're unhealthy, it's we weren't designed to be herbivores. So what happens? We need complete amino acid profiles from an omnivoric point of view. We need them from everything. We need meats. We need eggs. Dairy is great, but it's not necessary. Meat is the biggest thing. Eggs are great for you, but meat is the coup de grace, right? So you get your protein in. Try to eat protein every 3 hours. Long story short is your body can store fats, can store carbs, can store salt, can store water. There's nowhere to store protein. So if you're trying to eat 200 grams of protein a day, which for a beginner is a lot, just so you know, and you say, you know what, I don't really love protein, I'm going to eat it all with meal 1 and meal 2, and then eat carbs the rest of the day. It's like, well, that sounds good because you hit your macros, but you're only going to absorb about 60 grams of that protein. So the rest of it's kind of like you didn't eat it, and it turns into uric acid. So spread your protein evenly throughout the day, and eat enough of it, right? Every 3 hours or so, give or take. And it's going to take a minute to get used to that. Now we look at carbohydrates. Carbohydrates, and we're going to speed this up, all right? I'm not going to go diving deep because I'll go off on a rant like I already have twice. Carbohydrates convert into something called ATP, the easiest in the body, which is essentially the body's way of using glucose and sugar. That's the human body's ideal energy source, ideal fuel source. Problem with glucose and carbohydrates in general is it spikes your insulin, which isn't always a bad thing, but when you overeat it, Insulin is a transport hormone of the body, so it's responsible for storage. So it'll store everything you didn't use. What does it store it as? Body fat. Stores it as stomach fat, leg fat, whatever it is, just fat on your body. You know, our body's fat cells are like camelbacks. They're just storing energy for us, right? So eat carbohydrates around your workout and keep them clean. White carbs are far better than brown carbs. If you're eating a clean, 100% clean diet, you'd be amazed when it comes to fiber. You don't need any of it. Personally, I cut the fiber when I was training clients completely out of my clients' diets. When they're eating clean, your gut health gets better, your bathroom gets better, everything gets better. I don't eat any vegetables, I don't eat any fiber, anything like that. And I can do a deep dive into that another day. Just let me know if you want it. I'm sure I will anyway. Now let's look at fats, right? Good cholesterol, bad cholesterol. There's no such thing. Cholesterol is responsible for all the hormone production in your body. Now, they say good cholesterol and bad cholesterol, but the only difference is that they're saying good cholesterol is like a dump truck, where bad cholesterol is a dump truck that's full, and good cholesterol is a dump truck that's empty. But what happens is, out of all the cholesterol you eat, it doesn't actually affect your cholesterol levels, because your liver produces its own cholesterol. And when we have blood work done, the cholesterol we see on our blood work is from what the liver produced itself. So people say, well, why do my cholesterol levels go up? Because of sugar and processed carbs and garbage. When you ask your liver to do more work and you're forcing it into an unhealthy place, the byproduct is more cholesterol. And cholesterol is not a bad thing, man, but you don't want it to be produced in a bad way. You know, cholesterol is healthy for you. And they lowered what the healthy cholesterol levels are quite literally the day after somebody developed statins for cholesterol, because the pharmaceutical company makes all their money and blah, blah, blah. But high cholesterol is one of the healthiest things you can have for your brain activity, your health. I could go on forever, and I'm not going to, because I'm going to go on a rant about it. So you want high cholesterol, especially before bed. If you have a steak or some red meat before you go to sleep, that's not going to make you fat. That's going to rev up your metabolism. The fats are going to slow down your digestion a little bit, which is a good thing in this case, because it's going to keep the protein in your system longer all night while it's trying to heal you, trying to repair your body instead of burning it up right away. You know, fish digests like this, but the red meat will take a longer time because it's denser, number one, and number two, the fats slow it all down. Last but not least is sodium. Long story short, your muscles need sodium to contract. Your body needs sodium to keep its electrolytes in check. Every animal in the world knows it has to find sodium. Just don't overdo it, because you're not doing yourself any favors at that point. Short and sweet to the point. So on that note, my friends, hope you guys have a great day. Let me know what you want to learn more about. I'll go into deep dives, and I'll end up going to the deep dives on them one day anyway. But if you let me know which one you want first, I can do that one first. So until then, I'll see you, and take care.